So for today's topic, we're going to talk about how I started living my life as my true authentic self. Because one of the compliments that I get a lot from people, you're so confident. We love the fact that, you live your life the way you do. You don't care. You're brave, a lot of things like that. But I can tell you now, it's been a hell of a journey to get to this point of, me just living my life as my authentic self. So I just want to talk about my journey of what led me to this point. But in order to talk about how I started to live my life as being my true self, I have to revisit my past. And I have to go back to my 20s because in my 20s were a time where I had a lot of eye-opening experiences, let's just say. So in my 20s, that was a time where I tried to express myself and embrace myself for who I really was. And so that was with my style, the way I wore my hair, my hobbies, my likes, all of that. I was just trying to express myself, just trying to be who I truly was. But the environment that I was in basically rejected that. So almost like everything about me was being rejected. For everything from you wear too much makeup, why do you got your hair like that, your shoes don't match your dress, you shouldn't talk like this, you shouldn't think like that, like literally everything. And I remember just thinking like, what's wrong with me? I remember just sitting and thinking, I was like, dang, I can never do anything right in this environment that I'm in. So I'm like, what is wrong with me? And the only thing I just want to do is just embrace myself and be myself and like the things I like. But everything about that was wrong. And so at one point in time, I started to really think like, okay, maybe I really am doing something wrong. So over time, with me constantly being critiqued about, the things that I like, the things that I wanted to do, being made fun of for, doing those things, it caused me to like go into this like little box to where I didn't want to share, who I truly was with the world, because me constantly hearing that in my ear all the time made me feel like, something was wrong with me. So when I put myself in this box because I was tired of being made fun of for being my true self, so I started to make myself real small. And in that process of me doing that, it gave me a chance to sit back because I became real quiet, not wanting to say too many things because, everything that I would say or the things that I would do would be always deemed as wrong. So, like I said, I would be able to sit back and just watch. And so the environment that I was in, I realized that when I would sit back and watch how people were moving and even just the characters that I was seeing, I realized, I told myself, I said, that's not me. Some of the things that was being done, I was like, I would never do that. That's not my character. That's not how I move. And then I started to realize like, Angela, there's nothing wrong with you. And it was like a voice came in my head and it was saying like, Angela, there's nothing wrong with you. And then it popped in my head. I was like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just in the wrong environment. So once that light bulb came on and I realized, that, it's not that something is wrong with me. It's just that you're not in the right environment to grow and be your true self. So once I realized that, that's when I started to be like, okay, something has to happen for me to get out of this environment because, it's just not for me. And I remember praying about it. I remember I prayed and I was saying like, I'm ready to, start a whole new life for myself. And I want to be in an environment where I can grow and I can be my true self. And one thing about God is he answers prayers. He does. He answers prayers. And to make a long story short, soon after that, we ended up moving away from that old environment. And I remember when I moved away, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like I just felt like I could finally like breathe and be myself, and from that point on, when I moved and I had like a whole new environment for myself, I say, yeah, I'm never going back to, you know, an environment to where I'm closed off and I'm not able to be myself. So with that being said, now I can kind of tell you the steps that I took in order to become my authentic self. So number one is I changed my environment. I, made an environment to where I was in control of who I allowed in my life. And I remember I promised myself that I would never put myself around people where I had to dim my light and make myself real small. The second thing was I started to embrace me for who I truly was. I'm a girly girl. I love to dress up. I started wearing my hair the way I wanted to wear my hair. I wore my makeup the way I wanted to wear my makeup. I dressed the way I wanted to dress. The hobbies that I liked, I did. Those things are who make me me. And anybody who tried to make me dim my light or not let me shine the way I wanted to shine, I removed them from my life, because at the end of the day, I'm allowed to be myself, and that's okay. So the third thing that I did was I started to practice self-love. I started working with my mental, with my subconscious mind. I started getting in here and, doing the daily affirmations, telling myself like, you're worthy, you're enough, and that's important because I had to reverse everything that was put in my head about myself and turn it around into something that I knew was true. And once I started doing those affirmations and changing my mindset, it doesn't affect me when somebody tries to come up and tell me bad things about myself. It doesn't work because I know who I am. So number 4 is setting healthy boundaries. Don't allow people to just run over you or do whatever they want to. If you tell somebody, hey, that doesn't make me feel good, or I don't like the way, that you're doing that, and they tell you that you wrong for feeling that, it's time to go. It's time to move around. I like the fact that, I do give people a chance, but if I see that, you not understanding, like, hey, it's time to move around. It's go and hit that yellow brick road and move on around. So yeah, those are just some of the things that I did to become my authentic self. I had to, make myself an environment that I can just truly be me. With that being said, I hope that, if you see this video and you're struggling with some of those things, hopefully you take something from this video and it inspires you in some kind of way that you can, take what I'm saying, apply it to your life and, have some great results from that. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. And so I will see you guys in the next video, and I will talk to you guys later.